Scarlett, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
You look wonderful as always. Tell us about your holidays. A nice holiday?
It was a nice holiday. I got stuck in the Arctic vortex like everybody else. And yeah, I made a snowman, lots of hot dogs, and whatever other canned foods were around.
People were telling me that you're living part-time or some of your time in Paris. Is that true?
Yes, I do. I actually, I decided to take the plunge and move to Paris. And it's great. I love it. I mean, of course, some of the, the stardust twinkles worn off a little bit now, and you start to, all the things that you thought were charming before are just
annoying.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say I'm just offended an entire nation of people, but like usual. But
well, I'll tell you, they're lucky to have you, for heaven's sake.
Well, that's what I think, of course. No, but it's the little things, like I mean, of course, when I first got there, I thought that people were not. That the whole kind of rude Parisian thing was just like, people aren't rude, they're wonderful.
Yes.
Oh, that was before I was a mainstay there, and then people decided that once I wasn't going away, they could just be really terribly rude to me.
they could relax and be rude.
Yeah.
Just be themselves. Now, I know very little about Paris. Tell us, which arrondissement?
Oh. Oh, around.
Yeah.
around. I live in the left bank, actually.
Which is very nice over
there.
there.
Yes, it's the kind of artists.
Is it near the Latin Quarter?
Yes, it's close to the Latin Quarter. You're getting warmer. You're getting warmer.
And what do you do there?
I like to walk around.
Oh, it's a beautiful city to walk around.
I like to walk around. I mean, well, as I was saying, people there are ruder now, and so I like to walk around, but it's frustrating because, well, people there don't have. I mean, I'm from New York, and I assume that I'm the best, like an amazing walker because, I'm from New York.
You haven't seen my mom walk. Ready? Get her out of here.
Well, I just assume that, I mean, because we're from New York and you're kind of, it's a wonderful dance on the street. You kind of avoid and do this, it's a choreography walking down the street.
They're both two great walking cities, and you're from one of them.
Right. Yeah. Yes. When I got there, I assumed that, it's this kind of provincial town. People don't know how to walk here. Like, they don't walk anywhere. They walk everywhere. And the fact that they're just body checking me as they come, it's just part, they're just confused.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, they're not confused. And now, so I just do like a stare down from halfway down the block. And I started getting really aggressive with people now.
Good for you.
And I don't care.
Yeah. Are you with her, ladies and gentlemen? She doesn't care.
I'm a superhero, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean?
Now, I want to talk to you about this film, Her. Oh, my God, you got a hold of something here. Now, first of all, I have questions. Can I say, or should I not say? Did people know, or do they not know? You know what
are you talking about?
Well,
I'm scared.
I mean, you're in the movie. You're in the movie.
Yes, I am in the movie.
Yeah, but people might hurt themselves trying to find you.
Right.
Can we say that?
The big reveal? Is it a big reveal?
Well, I don't know. I never know what to say.
Just. You know what to say. You're good with words. Just say it.
But she's. No.
Well, you only hear me. You never actually see me.
That's right. They hire this actress, so we only hear her.
Well.
Now, first of all, is the money the same?
The same as what?
As if we got to see you.
You know what? I'd have to ask my agent about that. Maybe I got cheated out of something. I don't think there's a lot of money in a Spike Jonze movie. You kind of do it for the free food.
Now, this is first of all, I know nothing about Spike Jonze. Have you worked with him before?
I've never worked with him before. I love his work, though. I mean, I've always been a fan of his, and it's a whole new creative process doing what I did, because I did all of my stuff post-production in a studio with Joaquin and with Spike, and then sometimes the picture. So I never got to see anybody working on set, really. So
right. And one wonders if for an actor that's more a difficult part of the process. But you are actually there with your co-star.
Yes.
Yes, but in the film, you're not really there with your co-star. You're just listening and talking back and forth.
Yeah, it's a different kind of a challenge because I think in some ways you're sort of in a very contained environment, and so everything is heightened in some way, and you're hyper aware of your all your intonation and all the nuance in your vocal performance, and so it's a different kind of a challenge, I think.
I'm telling you, the result is amazing, and I don't want to go too much farther down the road here talking about this. The writing of this, what a monumental accomplishment this is, for God's sakes. This is an original screenplay.
It's an original screenplay, and it's Spike's first screenplay, and it really is, I think, incredibly touching and poignant, and it I think was as much of a sort of a kind of cathartic experience for him as it was for all of us as actors. I think we all got to really dig deep and kind of go there, you know?
And they're promoting the movie as a guy who falls in love with his computer. Well, that's an oversimplification. It really is much, much more than that, but that's how it's being marketed. But you take that idea and you think, well, really, is that more than like an 8-minute sketch, really? An 8-minute skit? But the fact that it sustains for 2 hours, it's just a lovely piece of work.
Thank you. I mean, I think because the character, Samantha, that I play, is she's a character that really, well, she says she's growing through her experiences, and so she's evolving, and I think if she didn't have that evolution, it would kind of be this one-note thing. But because she's discovering herself, and Joaquin's character, Theodore, is discovering himself through this relationship with her, and these two characters are really, you know, finding themselves in one another, you know, it can really, it's really quite, like I said, a very poignant love story.
Let me ask you another technical question. We have Joaquin Phoenix, and we'll get to that goofball in a minute. And then we have you as the co-star of the film, though we never see you. Now, maybe we've covered this, but is the acting the same if it's just your voice, or is it different if it's just your voice?
I don't know. It feels very authentic, and of course, because Joaquin was kind enough to come in and do the work with me, so I got to be able to actually really see him.
Well,
and
you believe that these conversations actually are taking place.
Yeah, well, they are. I mean, they really are. You know, I mean, in every way, we were there together. You know, and I think because Spike cut it from many kind of different techniques that we use, the performance, I think, it's hard to have a perspective, but it's present, but it's also, it's not totally human. It has a certain quality to it.
No, you know what it is? It's perfect because there is that intimacy, but there is also the electronic separation of the device, which is the computer, the internet, whatever this futuristic thing is that they're living with, you know? And some of it was shot in Shanghai, is that correct?
Yes,
Did you go to Shanghai?
No, I've been to Shanghai before, but not for like I said, I did everything in post-production. I almost fell down the rabbit hole in Shanghai, but somebody
Well, now, what does that
picked
mean?
me back up.
What happens there? What does that mean?
What?
What does that mean? You almost fell down the rabbit hole.
That's a long story.
No, we got plenty of time.
Well, not a real big deal. You know, I used to work for Moet, which was a really wonderful contract because there was so much free champagne.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was part of the rabbit hole, of course. It just gets deeper and deeper, and you know, there's a real big party scene in Shanghai.
You know, see, I didn't. How does that happen?
People like to party. I don't know. I mean, yeah, they're very enthusiastic. Big nightlife there. Lots of like night markets and nightlife and all kinds of music. And you know, I guess one glass of champagne led to another, and I almost fell down the rabbit hole, but somebody caught me.
Whoa! Now this sheds a whole new light on Chinese behavior. I thought they were honestly. I thought they were commies.
You're not allowed to say that.
You're not allowed to say that. And that's, to me, then I see Shanghai, and it's like, oh my God, it's the city of the future.
I don't want to participate in this conversation.
Okay, but the film is futuristic, but not crazy, not like 2090.
It's the near distant future.
Yeah, the near distant future.
And Spike refers to it as sort of the optimistic near distant future. So
tell me about your. I'll tell you. We'll talk about that when we come back. But that Shanghai, I was fascinated by the city is actually that big and that metropolitan and that sophisticated.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. I mean, of course, the crazy thing about Shanghai is that you take one wrong. I mean, you just can't find your way. You're totally discombobulated, and it's so big and so different, and lots of interesting smells going on there. Yeah, it's a whole other world. It's a whole other world.
Well, you get a snoot full of champagne, you go to Newark, it's a whole different world too. For God's sake. We'll be right back with Scarlett Johansson, ladies and gentlemen. Scarlett Johansson, ladies and gentlemen, and my apologies to China.
You're going to hear about that.
No, will I? Let's talk about Joaquin Phoenix. What a guy this is in this movie, and you wouldn't necessarily think he would be in this movie. On the other hand, he's perfect in this movie.
He
you know
is.
What I'm saying?
You see a real vulnerable part of Joaquin, which is when you know him. I mean, I'd never met him before. I only knew him from your show.
Well, yeah.
Although I did once, actually, that's not true. I did once meet him several years ago in a restaurant, and he had ballpoint pen written all over his hands and face, I remember. And I think he was wearing a suit and tie. He's not like that anymore, though. No. He's much more of a grandma now. I wish I knew him then, actually.
Sure, he had the contract with Moet. Is it Moet or Moet?
It's Moet.
Moet.
Yes.
But he comes on this show, and we're playing the little practical joke. He's going to leave films and so on and so forth. And then, so he takes they set him down for 2 years and say, okay, you're out of show business. You can't do that. And then he comes back, and he starts doing films, and you really get a sense of quite remarkable actor this guy is.
He is. He's an incredibly sensitive, I think hypersensitive person, and when you meet him, you really see that. You know, everything that he is incapable of filtering anything, and so ideas even too, apparently. And he just, all of that comes straight through him, and you know that you see that in person, then you can see that as part of his performance. I think that's what makes him so watchable and enigmatic.
The other thing that I noticed during the film is they have, and I guess this is the director's decision, they have chosen futuristic pants.
Yes.
The men wear pants that are not quite right, and I'm guessing, well, they're not. I mean, I'm correct about that.
They're like big diaper pants, kind of.
That's right. They're big diaper pants. Hi, I'm Dave Letterman for Big Diaper Pants. Are you like me? Do you always have to go? But it's, well, let's look at a clip here. And then we'll talk more about this. Okay, what is the clip going to be?
I believe this clip is that we are at a carnival and we're on a little bit of a date.
On a date. Now, keep in mind, this is the disembodied voice of Scarlett Johansson, and she's an operating system.
That's correct.
And this is now prevalent in American culture, worldwide culture, and they can be friends and company to actual living, breathing humans.
Yes, we have instinct.
Okay, let's take a look. This is Her. It opens on Friday.